Toyota's newest body-on-frame platform, the F platform, not the Hilux Champ that has the Land Cruiser FJ, the full-size F platform that we see the Tundra, the Tacoma, the Sequoia, Land Cruiser, Lexus LX, GX, etc. It was developed around two new engines, mainly because of modern emissions regulations. All right, so they got rid of the old 5.7 liter V8 and the diesel 4.5 liter V8 as well. And they've replaced them with 6 cylinders with turbos. And when the Tundra came out just a few years ago, you know, people were a little bit worried. They're like, hey, you know, there's nothing wrong with the V8. Why did you have to change it? Well, Toyota's saying, hey, a little bit better fuel economy, better torque, better towing capacity, better peak horsepower, more power throughout the rev range, right? All the benefits that come along with turbocharged engines. But also potential downsides when you come up with a new engine, turbocharged or not, there could be growing pains. And it didn't take long after the release of the twin turbo V6 and the Tundra and other body-on-frame next generation Toyota vehicles for us to get a recall. There are near countless reports out there from customers who bought Toyota or Lexus models with twin turbo V6s and have had the engines fail extremely early, low mileage, mid mileage, high mileage. Not very many of these are technically high mileage. All right. And a lot of people are like, hey, you know, the turbochargers are going to be the end of Toyota reliability. We did have that wastegate issue early on. All right. Toyota nipped that in the butt. But May 30th, 2024, Toyota recalls 102,000 Toyota and Lexus models because machining debris may have not been cleared from when the engine was produced. In the involved vehicles, this can lead to a potential engine knocking, rough running, no start, loss of motive power, and a loss of motive power can kill people. So for all involved Toyota vehicles, Toyota would replace the engine with a new one at no cost. Now, many owners who had Toyota or Lexus models with the twin turbo V6 outside of the recall range were reaching out or at least letting me know, like, my engine blew. It's not technically covered under the recall, but it would be covered under the powertrain warranty, right? Let's fast forward. November 6, 2025, about a year and a half after the initial recall, Toyota recalls more Tundra, and the GX is involved now. By the way, I'm reviewing a GX 550 Overtrail this week, so stay tuned for that review. And more LX models are included in this recall. Okay, so these are 2022 to 2024 Tundras, LXs, and 2024 GXs. Approximately 127,000 Toyota and Lexus branded vehicles. Conventional gas models only, I'll talk more about that here in a little bit, are involved in the recall. 230,000 recalls on faulty engines. Now, what's crazy is that apparently it's the same freaking issue. Well, that's what they're telling us anyways. There's a possibility that certain machining debris may have not been cleared from the engine when it was produced. Maybe they're just expanding their recall because, well, they had 24 models involved in it as well. As of May 30th, 2024. They are expanding the recall for more vehicles produced before the seemingly the initial recall back in May of 2024. Okay. And this is like literally copy and paste from the last recall. Toyota is currently developing a remedy for this issue, and customers will be notified by this issue early January 2026. Okay, you know what the remedy is? All right, they're just gonna have to replace engines. If there's evidence of debris, if there's evidence of improper manufacturing or a flawed manufacturing. Is the issue really machine debris? You know, this is a voluntary recall. A voluntary recall, I could be wrong on this. I could be way out in front of my skis, but a voluntary recall is done to save face. It's done to take care of customers. But there's no legal pressure from the NHTSA pushing them or telling them exactly what to do or what to say, to my understanding. So if it's a volunteer recall, then Toyota and Lexus has the narrative here. Now, is the issue really machining debris that may not have been cleared from the engine when it was produced? It could be. It could also be an engine design flaw. We're throwing rods because of either improper tolerances or who knows. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a manufacturer, but this is awfully concerning from a consumer standpoint. So many products from Toyota and Lexus have this twin turbo V6, and Toyota is recalling them to the tune of 230,000 units or more. And I'm driving it this week, and the GX, it's fine. It's detuned in the GX, which is stupid. It should not be detuned in that model, and it still takes premium. It's stupid. The twin turbo V6. Here's what's even more alarming. LX, GX are made in Japan at the Tahara plant, okay? And I'm assuming their engines are sourced differently from the Tundra Sequoias that are produced in Texas. So if we have the exact same machine debris issue from two separate plants, that means maybe the quality control wasn't where Toyota needed it to be, whether that's in the manufacturing process or the sourcing of parts from outside suppliers, not within Toyota. And honestly, I think the Lexus LS has had some issues when it debuted this engine back in 2018 or so. The twin turbo V6 is okay. That's all I have to say about it from Toyota. Keep in mind, this is only for the non-hybrid model. Stay tuned, because there's not a difference between the hybrid engine and the gasoline engine, to my understanding. All right, so by itself, this 3.44 liter twin turbo V6 produces almost 400 horsepower. It's also detuned on the SR trim. It's detuned in the GX. If you get it with the iForce Max, it produces 437 horsepower, and it has even more torque, right? I've had multiple people who have owned the hybrid and their engine detonated. Okay, and they kind of just like limped to the side of the road. I don't know why Toyota has not recalled the hybrids yet. I have heard that since the hybrid can kind of limp around on its own when the engine dies with the electric motor, that it is not a priority for Toyota to recall the Hybrid Max. Now, that's just what I've heard. Don't know if that's true or not, but the engine isn't different. It's just the only thing that's different is the hybrid system and the transmission. Okay, but the engine itself shouldn't be different from hybrid to non-hybrid, to my understanding. If you guys have more knowledge or know the matter a lot better than I do with this twin turbo V6, hybrid or not, it's not like you're in the clear if you go buy a hybrid. There's still red flags all around Toyota's twin turbo V6. I have never really loved this engine. It idles rough as heck in the GX. And when it debuted in the LS back in 2018, it had a rough idle. I'm like, what is this? And, rest in peace, LS. The twin turbo V6 was a big part of that car's failure to be relevant in modern era. Rough idle and reliability issues with this twin turbo V6. Here's what I want Toyota to do. Well, Cafe is pretty much dead. Find a way to bring back the 5.7 liter V8. I don't care. I don't care if it gets bad fuel economy. People want reliability. Look, Dodge just brought the Hemi back. Toyota can hybridize the V8 if they want to and get better fuel economy, better power. They hybridize the twin turbo V6. It's awfully complicated, right? There's a lot of things moving and going on when you have turbochargers, two of them, intercoolers, and a whole hybrid system as well. V8, Toyota perfected the V8 with the 5.7. Not initially had issues initially, but over time they pretty much made it bulletproof. Dodge, not saying their engines are bulletproof, but I would trust a Hemi at this point over this twin turbo V6. I would trust, probably the inline 6 high output Hurricane engine from Dodge over this. I'm not like a Dodge shill. You guys know, like I just reviewed the Hemi and it is what it is. It sounds amazing. And that's the big draw to it. Toyota just needs to bring the V8 back. And is a 5.7 liter V8 going to come back? And the answer is it's almost impossible. Not because of emissions or whatever. I think it's because, well, they have a new V8, the new 4 liter twin turbo V8. Now, does that mean the Tundra will only have twin turbo V8 if that engine comes? Would they have single turbo or hybrid naturally out, they could do whatever they wanted. Toyota has the engineering to do that. I'm not a big fan of this twin turbo V6, as I've said. And there are so many better engine options out there on the market. I like Chevy's V8s better than this twin turbo V6. Yeah, I love Nissan's twin turbo V6. I know it's really like Sequoia versus and Land Cruiser versus Armada / Patrol. It's a better engine, way more stout feeling. And if I trust anyone to make a twin-turbo V6, it's going to be Nissan. GTR twin-turbo V6, legendary. That same sort of engineering prowess and expertise has flowed into Nissan and Infinity's twin-turbo V6. It's too bad there's no full-size pickup truck for Nissan anymore, but Nissan has their own issues. Their twin-turbo V6 is definitely not one of them. It's a fantastic engine, and it is a better engine than this Toyota twin-turbo V6. Ram, the Stellantis 3-liter inline-6 is butter smooth, super smooth, tons of torque, tons of power. BMW's B58 inline-6 that was in the Supra. Man, could you imagine that in the Tundra? Why Toyota decided to do a twin-turbo V6 in their rear-wheel drive platform vehicles, starting with the LS, and then it kind of switched on over, to the F platform for trucks. Why they did twin turbo V6 and not inline 6 like Mazda, like BMW, I don't know. Toyota seemingly in recent memory has a lot more expertise with V layout engines. So it's probably just kind of like a natural progression for them. Until these recalls stop, it's going to be a tough buy for Toyota. You might be saying, Kirk, I'll take my chances. It's still better built product than the competition. Maybe it's not the same Toyota anymore. This engine is a plague to the Tundra and the Sequoia, the LX, the GX. It's unfortunate because, well, everything else about those vehicles are pretty good. It's pretty good. Is Toyota going to be fine from this? Of course. But it's going to cost them billions of dollars. They should have just developed an inline 6 or the V8 could come. The new generation 4-liter V8 could come. I don't know, guys. It's tough for me to be able to share this news about this additional recall. So we're now up to about 230,000 twin turbo V6 engines deemed as potentially faulty, with no remedy other than engine replacements. That's my understanding. All right. So I'll see you guys in the comments. Let me know what engine from the competition you'd rather have in this. I would take any V8 from Chevy. I would take the Ford's 5-liter V8 in here. I would take Nissan's twin-turbo V6. I would take BMW's inline 6. Mazda's inline 6, it has its issues, not necessarily the inline 6, but the transmission that it hooks up to. And I would take Ram's V8. And yeah, so that's a crazy thing. As I just list essentially every manufacturer that makes pickup truck that has a better engine, better powertrain than Toyota. Toyota's now at the very bottom of powertrain desirability. That is a complete 180 from the previous generation Tundra's V8. It may have not had the best specs, the old 5.7 liter V8, but it is indestructible. You see tons of them still out on the road, and you will see tons of them still continuing on. It is what it is. I got to shut it down. This is sad news. And if you have a Tundra, let me know what your experience has been. Do you know someone who's had issues with this twin-turbo V6? Have you had issues yourself? Are you worried about Toyota's reliability going forward? All those things I want to see down in the comments. Have a great day, guys, and hopefully your Toyota twin-turbo V6 doesn't go kaput.